Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Hopefully you guys had a chance to check out yesterday's video where we took a look at a ton of new EDZ or European Dead Zone open world gameplay. It was pretty exciting stuff and that just amplified my hype even further. Of course, if you missed it, I will link it down below. But in today's video, I wanted to round up some more information on some other topics, namely clan rewards, perks, and in general, a better look at how clans will work in Destiny 2, custom revive animations, a look at the other Voidwalker Nova Bomb, returning subclasses, the 3 from the Taken King, and some other stuff on top. So as always, if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to comment down below with any questions. Also, if you haven't done so already, my PS4 Pro giveaway is still running for one more week, so be sure to click the link down below if you guys haven't already entered. Now, to begin with, let's talk clans. Clans in Destiny 2 are going to be bigger and better than before. They're woven into the game itself, so they won't just exist on Bungie's website, plus they're the foundation of the quote-unquote matchmaking system for high-level content through guided games. However, we also know that you'll be able to earn rewards as clans and unlock various perks and bonuses along the way, and our character screens have a dedicated slot for a clan banner. But that is stuff we already know. However, yesterday during a Blizzard livestream at Gamescom, we got a glimpse at this screen, which details some of those clan bonuses. You can see that the item they're looking at is the clan banner, the item that'll go in this slot here on your character, provided of course you're in a clan. You can see we get it from Hawthorne, one of the characters we'll have a good deal of interaction with during the story, but if we actually look at the perks themselves, you can see that to begin with, they're greyed out, but as your clan levels up, you unlock them. The description reads the battle standard for your clan. As your clan levels up, this banner unlocks new clan perks each season, and we'll speak about seasons very shortly. At the top we have gain additional glimmer when looting engrams, which will be super handy especially early game. Ignore of course the 99,999 glimmer they have at the top of the screen. This is a dev build, so that's not a realistic amount. I'll be interested to see what the new cap is, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Next up you have a perk to increase your public event rewards, and what's cool about this is that since public events also have heroic versions which you can trigger by meeting certain conditions, I'll be interested to see whether this just increases the base rewards or those heroic ones too. After that you get improved rewards for eliminating Cabal enemies, which will be nice since that is going to be something we're doing a lot of during the campaign. We then get an increased chance of receiving reputation tokens when completing Nightfalls, raids and trials. And I'm going to assume by that they mean the tokens we saw yesterday, EDZ tokens, and by extension I imagine Nessus, Io and Titan tokens. And for the high level activities, we'll likely get them based on the planet the activity is on. And finally, increase the chance of receiving an engram when completing playlist activities with a clan member. So if you play together as a clan, Strike playlist, I'd imagine Crucible playlist, anything like that, it'll be a good way to farm rewards and engrams. Now at this stage, we don't know 100% how these will physically work in game. There was this quick clip from some of the gameplay released yesterday where this Guardian runs up and interacts with this flag, and there's a prompt to rally to the flag, and then this public event kicks off. But the flag itself does look a little different to how the clan banners are represented on Bungie's website, so this could actually be completely unrelated. It'll also be interesting to see if there's a cooldown on the flag, like do you physically place it at the beginning of an activity and the bonus works for say an hour, or is it active at all times simply by having it equipped on your characters? That much we still have to find out. However, if we jump over to Bungie.net, you can see that this is what the clan page now looks like. You can see the number of members, the date created, and then Season 1 above your clan level. Clans unlock character perks and rewards by leveling up their clan. The more active the clan, the higher the clan level. And the fact that this works in seasons makes me wonder whether those perks and the flags will also rotate. For example, in the screenshot there's a focus on killing Cabal in Season 1. What if Season 2 switches to Vex? What if there's a Crucible focus perk in Season 2? That sort of stuff. Plus it also means that clans can be somewhat on an even footing. If you miss out on one season or you're kind of just starting a clan slightly late, you know the next time around you have a chance to compete again. Not that they're necessarily pitted against one another, but if you feel like, say, you're getting to the end of Season 1 and you don't think you better get all the rewards in time, then you know that Season 2 you can try again. There's also the Oathkeeper Score, whereby if you finish activities in guided games, according to the quote-unquote Guardian Oath, you get better scores. I'm assuming the Guardian Oath is something like, don't be a dick. Basically, it's just an incentive to actually use the system for good, to help people, and not just invite people in and then troll them. I'm also super excited to find out exactly what those rewards will be once we start playing, but that actually leads me nicely onto something else I want to talk about, and that is custom revive animations. This was seen in some more gameplay from the EDZ. Notice how when the Titan respawns, he doesn't do so in the usual blue-white, but instead in this sort of toxic green looking flame, This isn't the first time we've seen something like this. Of course, in Destiny 1, during the Halloween events, we got those consumable items that let us have bats spawn around us or things like that. So it's possible this is another customization option for us. It could be one of those things that goes on the bottom screen alongside, say, sparrows, emotes, ships, all that kind of stuff, so there could well be a dedicated slot for these. And it's entirely possible these could even tie in with the clans. I mean, if you receive perks and rewards by leveling up, of course, those rewards wouldn't offer any sort of power advantage, so you're definitely not going to be looking at anything like an exotic reward for a clan, or anything outlandish like that, because then those people that don't play in clans would be at a distinct disadvantage. But it would be cool if it was, say, cosmetic stuff, shaders, sparrows, maybe ghost shells, and even revive animations if they do end up being a thing. But of course, for the time being, that last bit was a little bit of speculation. So moving on from there, let's talk about the Voidwalkers. For those of you that play the beta, you'll know full well that we had access to this path in the subclass tree. This is the path that gave us the brand new Spirit Bomb style Nova Bomb, the one that moves slowly and tracks targets, but you can also shoot it early to detonate it. And as cool as that was, some people found it a little bit slow. Well, thankfully, we already know by looking at the other tree that there is a more traditional option. And in some of the EDZ gameplay, we got to look at this new second tree, or second path. The second set of perks that allows you to play as a more traditional Voidwalker. You can see here the Nova Bomb travels much faster, much more like it does in Destiny 1, so for those of you not too keen on the new way to play, then you can of course lean on this. I think this will probably end up being the go-to for PvP, meanwhile the other could definitely still have some great utility in PvE. As a reminder, the second tree also gives you access to the following perks: Devourer, where when you kill an enemy with a melee ability, you regenerate your health, and for a short time after, your kills also restore additional health. Vortex creates a singularity, which continually damages enemies trapped inside. Insatiable synergizes with Devourer, so that when the Devourer effect is active, kill enemies also extends its duration and recharges your grenades, and then Feed the Void allows you to hold L1 to consume your grenade energy to regenerate your health and also grants the Devourer effect. So that path is definitely pretty useful, and it's likely the one that I would personally favour more so, at least based on the descriptions. Only time will tell how effective the healing mechanic is. Now moving on from there, let's talk swords. There was some new sword gameplay shown during some of the EDZ gameplay segments from various outlets. Again, all the relevant videos are linked down below for you guys to check out should you want to sit through about 2 hours worth of open world gameplay. But during that, I wanted to call out this sword in particular. Bungie did say there will be a lot more sword to obtain in Destiny 2, and they'll be considerably more varied. But what's interesting is that it seems we'll also be seeing blue rare swords too. Since it is of course now an established weapon type, it'll be nice for it to be something we can obtain throughout the game, right from low levels all the way to the very end. In this clip here, you can see an item drop called the Future Imperfect, and it's listed as a power weapon that deals void damage. But it's also blue rarity. It doesn't look like a gun, and if you fast forward to this section, this sword looks remarkably like that icon. Again, without going into the inspection screen, we obviously can't say for sure, but when you see the similarity paired with the fact that this sword doesn't exactly look that ornate or exciting, it definitely looks like the sort of low-level throwaway weapon you would get whilst leveling, only to later be replaced by something much better. I'm assuming since the item dropped randomly, it must have been a reward based on an activity that a party member completed, but regardless, we've already seen a fair few different swords. So having them be more heavily woven into the game is going to be really nice. They're definitely my favourite weapon type. Maybe not always the most practical choice, but definitely the most badass. Moving on from there, something else I didn't mention yesterday were a new engram called Bright Engrams. Again, during some more of that gameplay, where Guardians were taking part in a public event, the completion of said event resulted in one Guardian leveling up, and in doing so, they were then rewarded with a Bright Engram. The in-game tooltip tells us that you get Bright Engrams when you level up, and that they hold items for customizing your character, and Tess Everest is able to decode these items for you. Now, Tess Everest, of course, being the cash store vendor, so I wonder if that also perhaps gives us a hint as to the sort of things she might sell. If these contain customization items like shaders, or maybe emblems, perhaps those are the sort of things she too might have for sale. But for the time being, sticking to the facts, you'll get these when you level up, and since the level cap is 20, then that's a grand total of, I guess, 19 since you start at level 1 that you can get throughout leveling. We also got to look at our first exotic engram too. According to the game, these come from completing activities in your director, and they hold powerful exotic weapons and armor. Well, that much we know, but knowing that you can actually get them by completing activities on the director means they'll likely link into the milestones, activities you can then track that also offer rewards. So I guess that's sort of a means to try and give people a slightly more deliberate path. If you want to get something, you can look at it, you can track it, you can pursue it, and you then get some rewards in the process. And then finally, the last thing I want to touch on, and something I didn't mention in yesterday's video, is that it seems we finally have the confirmation we've been looking for with regards to the other 3 returning subclasses, namely Night Stalker, Stormcaller, and Sunbreaker. Again, from the press footage coming out from yesterday, we saw some gameplay where Guardians received certain relics tied to subclass quests. In this instance, they opened a Lost Sector chest and received the Fractured Arrow, a Void Hunter relic. Another one for the Warlock, the Cracked Talisman, an Arc Warlock relic. This time came from a regional chest, one of those gold ones. So I'm not too sure whether they have a chance to drop randomly or whether they are from predetermined locations. That much we'll of course have to wait and see. But that is of course the start for the Stormcaller. And there was also a screenshot, I don't have it in this video, but the screenshot for the Titan was a Melted Hammer relic being found. This is of course for the Titan, and this was actually found during a public event. So given that we've seen them drop in a number of different places, it does make me think that they are in fact perhaps random. Sort of like how in Destiny 1, the Dvalin relics used to drop in random patrol activities. So if this is the case, then you'll for sure want to dive into the EDZ and the other kind of patrol locations and just play the game, literally explore, lost sectors, public events, do everything. Because if it is one of those things where they just have a chance to randomly drop, then that's going to be your best way to get those subclasses. But of course, we'll know for sure in just over a week. So for the time being, that is pretty much it. That's another quick roundup of some of the most recent information I didn't include in my video yesterday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to keep it locked for much more. We are just over a week out now, so there will be lots more content coming your way very, very soon. But until then, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.